Crime and Security, Neglect and Professional Responsibilities, presented by Charlita Wynn. What are professional responsibilities? Professional responsibilities are a system of guidelines that we must follow to ensure that we are producing good products. Every employee is expected to do the basic of the minimum requirements in their field. Some basic requirements consist of developing communication skills, having a concern for safety and security of the organization, and being open and honest about your capabilities. What is neglect? Well, neglect can be defined in many different ways. There can be many different forms of neglect. But for the purpose of our presentation today, neglect is defined as a failure to properly care for someone or something. Most cases of neglect in most settings can lead to criminal charges. For our situation today, neglect plays a crucial role in many crime and cybersecurity issues that happen in professional settings. There have been many laws that have been introduced after crucial events have happened, and they attempt to address flaws in professional responsibilities when preventive training may have been the solution to the misactions of neglect. We will go through a few recent neglect cases later on in the presentation. If I was a CIO, this is my vision for my company. I am a CIO for a hospice organization, and there has been an ethical dilemma of neglect of my clients' privileged information. Their privileged information was leaked and used for personal gain. It has opened up a flaw in my information security system, and it will not be tolerated. It is a form of neglect because it has violated the trust and agreement between my company and my clients. Neglect of any form or any abuse will not be tolerated. Therefore, training of my professional staff is what is needed. Training of professional responsibilities will eliminate any issues going forward. Expectations will be given up front. And as a company, we represent it, and we're supposed to represent it well. We all represent the company, and the company reflects us. Neglect of responsibilities can lead to many criminal consequences on my company, as well as the staff involved. This is why training is key to ensure that these issues will no longer happen. As the saying goes, when you know better, you do better. And with training, we have to nip it in the bud before it gets started. Let's take a moment to actually define crime. Crime has been defined in different social and humanistic sciences as behavior against order. It has also been defined as behavior against public feelings and emotions. It's also been defined as behavior that is incongruent with the social conscience and common sense. All branches of law, including cyber law, are used as means of social control, and their goal is to organize the behaviors and activities of citizens. Criminal law, that holds the basis of crime, is a branch of public law that attempts to prevent crime by defining the acts or omissions that lead to public disorders and by specifying legal reactions for those that create those acts. Now, in relation to cyber law and professional responsibilities, there are different factions in each society and each organization. They are all the same for professional and laborers of each occupation. They all have certain regulations so that they can do their job in a healthy and honorable way. Therefore, if they break those cyber laws, each member is subjected to disciplinary punishment. And that applies disciplinary measures against those members who neglect their dignity and professional integrity. And each organization addresses these issues in their own way and own manner. Once the issue becomes a criminal matter, that then goes into what the laws are in each state or federal social confinements. Now, wrapping up with crime. Crime can be basically seen as the outer behavior of that person. And sometimes it's realized as an unlawful act, sometimes it is an omission, and sometimes it's the presence of punishment as a condition for its realization. And so the principle of cyber law and all law, and the main criteria, is to distinguish that crime from other concepts. And in related to the professional transgressions with professional responsibilities, it is a prohibited act, and it's related to their professional and administrative status. And it will result in disciplinary action and punishment. Furthermore, any conduct that jeopardizes the dignity of an organization can result in all different ranges of disciplinary and punishment, even if it has not been mentioned in bylaws and regulations. What are ethics? Ethics is the study of what it means to do the right thing. Ethical theory assumes that people are rational and they make free choices. Ethical rules are the rules to follow in our interactions with other people and in our actions that affect other people. Behaving ethically is usually the practical response. Let's talk about a few neglect and ethical cases in today's news. So we'll talk about 3 separate cases that have happened recently in today's news that involve a possible neglect and professional responsibilities that can relate to crime and security issues in organizations. So our first topic that we're going to discuss is the recent FaceTime eavesdropping bug. Those that have iPhones or are part of the Apple community may remember just a few weeks ago where there was a FaceTime glitch where if you called on group FaceTime and you did not answer, that people could hear your conversations and your surroundings anyway. So this FaceTime glitch, it can relate to crime and security because the glitch could have been fixed sooner. It is reported that a family attempted to alert the company of the glitch, but they did not get a response. So the glitch, it can be argued as an invasion of privacy for their users. It is also a security breach for users as well. This mistake and slow turnaround, it could have caused more issues the longer it took to resolve it. Our second topic is the recent family, the Pizzazzi family. They settled with Penn State over a hazing case that resulted in the death of their son. Hazing, as we all know, is illegal, and criminal charges are being brought up against those that were involved. If the professional responsibility and expectations would have been discussed prior with the fraternities, then maybe certain actions would have been in place and their son would not have died because of the actions of others. And the third topic or article that I want to discuss is a woman that used a sperm donor and she signed a contract to keep the identity of her sperm donor anonymous. Being that she did not know the DNA or the history of the other side of her child's medical histories, she wanted to do an ancestry research just for the purposes to see if her daughter had any family gene traits that were hereditary and that were on her donor side. The ancestry research turned up a paternal relative, and the sperm bank took back all the other samples of sperm that she had, and they said that she violated a contract for the promise of anonymity. Now, this case I was on the middle ground fence for, because it's not necessarily something that was criminally done, and it's currently unresolved, so it's still being investigated. And if the professional staff acted hastily, they could possibly be at fault. So these are a few different crime and security issues in relation to their professional responsibilities that could possibly result in neglect or have resulted in neglect. In conclusion, neglect plays a crucial role in many crime and cybersecurity related issues that happen in professional settings. Many laws have been introduced after crucial events have happened in organizations. They attempt to address the flaws in hindsight of those professional responsibilities when preventive training may have been the solution to those missed actions of neglect. It should be noted that even though a disciplinary action may have been issued, it does not affect any criminal or civil action that may be taken against that said person by the law or families affected. Furthermore, any conduct that jeopardizes the dignity of an organization can result in disciplinary action, sentence, or punishment, even if it has not been mentioned to that said staff member or the said person that has committed the neglect, in respective of the bylaws and regulations of that company. This has been Charlita Wynn's presentation over crime and security in relations to professional responsibilities and neglect. Thank you. Let's talk. Do you have any questions for me? Or do you have any questions in relation to crime and security or professional responsibilities? Maybe even something about ethics. Let's talk. Thank you for taking the time out to view my presentation. Here are a list of my references. Goodbye.